Wow, I mean, the kind of countries we got here is insane. I mean, we got nobody's only thing. Me and Anissa are in the same country. Everybody else is from
Mhm.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Fardin is in Switzerland, Olga in Czech Republic,
Uh-huh.
Lizanne and Ronald in the
Uh-huh.
U.S., Nikki
Uh-huh.
in UK, right? Nikki's
Uh-huh.
in the UK, right? Alana in not Barbados,
Uh-huh.
Trinidad, Denise
Yeah.
in Canada, Lydia, I don't know where Lydia is, and then Andrea in Holland or Germany, Andrea?
Mhm.
Germany this time.
Okay, well, welcome from Germany. And
Mhm.
then we have Francis in Philippines,
Mhm.
Maria in the UK.
Mhm.
Wow. And then Oya in Turkey.
Uh-huh.
My God. I mean, imagine having this in person, the amount of money we would have spent on flights and accommodation to have this particular conversation. But that's the beauty
Right.
of online. So, as much as we don't like it, there's a lot of benefits in having a online conversation. All it cost us was connecting up to the internet,
Mhm.
and the best part is, I mean,
Mhm.
there's no excuse for not having the best of the best, right? The best of knowledges, the best of information.
Mhm.
YouTube, it's weird. We should be thriving as a species right now. We
Mhm.
should be at the top of our game in every way because we got all the knowledge, all the information,
Mhm.
access to like wise people from not just from now. We can get
Mhm.
someone in the 1930s on YouTube, and we're watching this guy deliver a sermon
Mhm.
on philosophy. Yet, what's going on? What's going on? We all should be like, you know, at the height of our understanding. Yes, yes. Go ahead, Ferdin.
I said we have everything, Rishad, except awareness, conscious, and making again the heart center the master and not the brain.
Right.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. The the other thing is that we have too much information and too many people to listen to, and too much access to different methods, techniques, da da da, whatever. And in all of that, we do nothing. And so, choice is a terrible consequence if you don't know how to use your brain. Because you're sitting there going, okay, I want to feel better now. What do I do? YouTube, SoundCloud, this guy, walk on the beach, whatever. And what happens is now you think that all your growth and all your happiness is from these devices, right? And
True.
then you don't even need to speak to your family, go for a walk in the park, meet the annoying neighbors. You don't need to do all of that. You just lock yourself in the room and I'm connected to the universe. No, you're not, you see, because that's the illusion of connectivity, and we miss out on that. So, Fadin, very good point,
Mhm.
uh, which is how do we know what information to access and how much information do we need for what we're trying to achieve? Because you have a purpose in mind. If you don't go in with a purpose to life, not going to make it. If you don't go in with a purpose on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, right? These things have been designed to capture you for hours and hours. And fine, if you don't have anything else to do, it's an extremely entertaining alternative to this thing called life, this boring thing called life, right? Because that's what's happened in the process. So setting an intention for life is really important. I don't think any of us get to do. We do New Year's resolutions. This year I want to make more money and have a bigger car and fly to wherever it is. But what about an intention about my life, like what I'm planning to do with it and what I'm going to do while I'm here? And I think very few people. I was talking to a client this morning, and I said, "Are you just like making it through life, like working, paying your bills, making your family happy, and 16 hours a day? That's what he does." I said, "But what else is there to life? I mean, do we ever ask that question? What else is there to life, and what we're supposed to do with life?" And I think that's really important point. So, welcome to everybody else that's joined us today. Okay, so then let's get started. Um, Today's session is on the heart, and understanding the heart as an intuitive center, with the goal for awakening our creativity, our imagination, and our knowing and trusting of life. What's very important is to realize that understanding is in the brain, feeling and knowing and perceiving is in the heart. Now, people like Aristotle and all the people of before said that the heart is how you know and understand the world, not your brain. So this, can you see where we are right now? We use our brains to understand our lives instead of using our hearts to understand it, which now causes a major problem. So most of the people on this planet are very confused, very overwhelmed, very uninspired. Correct? None of us are walking around giggling and laughing and feeling amazing, right? It's because we're leading from our brain, and our brain is a tool that should be used for what it is, which is, I have something my heart wants. How do I use my brain to get that? But what we've done is saying, we ask the question to the brain, what should I get? Well, I could go on Instagram and become an influencer, or I could do this. And how do I get that? So we're using the brain to find the solutions, and we're coming up with the initial point from our brain. So what's the purpose of your life? Where does that question, where does it land? When I say, what's the purpose of your life? Does it land here, or does it land here, or does it land in your gut? And now what answers that question? Is it your brain, or is it another center inside of you? Can someone tell me?
May I
Yeah.
speak?
Oh, yeah.
At that point, for me, is mixture. Not only my brain, also with my heart, of course, sure. I think brain should be included at that point, but also mind. Mind should
We'll
be
come to the
included in
terms,
that
because
point.
the words are different. Mind is a term that doesn't actually, people say, are you saying mind is brain? Is that what you're using, or is brain different to mind in your, because it's such a long explanation, but I can give
Yes,
it to
long explanation. You are right. I think we should use our brain firstly to decide a mindful to make a mindful decisions. For me,
which
for
is
all,
okay.
that is coming from the brain, as you all know. We should use our brain, but also we should use our hearts. That
Exactly.
can be used separately.
Right.
I told you a combined heart and the brain.
Yeah. So the point of this call is to talk about the heart in the context not of the brain. For now, we're going to focus on the heart.
Okay,
And then
I know.
we use the brain secondary. Of course, we use the heart, the brain, the gut. We use all of it. I agree. We use all of it. But the question that I'm asking is, if I ask you the question, what's the purpose of your life? The first place that question should land is somewhere inside of you, not in the brain. It's not a brain conversation, because how do you answer that question? Do you review what somebody else says and says, oh, well, I should be a nice person. Oh, I should be rich. Oh, I should be in a happy relationship. These are all mind. And what that means is that it's come from past memory, past experiences. So growing up, conditioned mind, all that kind of stuff. But if you really ask your heart, what does my heart want out of life? Ask yourself that question. What is my heart seeking in life? What's the answer to that? Ronald, you're a senior man. Tell us, what is your heart seeking in life?
I would say connection, connection with myself and connection with others. That's what I'm reaching at this age, because I no longer have a job to influence me, and I'm abstaining from the other things that gave me a sense of identity, worth, self-esteem, and such. And now I'm just trying to improve my reception of my environment and just learning about my heart.
So sorry to I just want to ask you, when you say connection, what do you want to feel out of life?
I want to feel pure love and pure acceptance, pure awareness is what I want.
Is awareness in the heart or in the brain?
It's got to be in the heart. I have to say it's in the heart. My brain has limited me so many times. It's my heart that I want to.
So when you say awareness, yeah, this is good, Ronald. You've been on the call a lot of times, so I can use you to explain what I'm getting at, because we know each other. As that awareness of what, right? Because you can be aware of YouTube, but the awareness you're talking about is not something described by words, correct?
No. This is the energy. This is everything that's intangible. As I
Right.
want to be aware of.
Exactly. Right. It's intangible.
I want to be the fish that knows it's in water.
No, that's beautiful. That's really, really beautiful. Ronald, that's excellent. A fish that knows it's in water. Wow, Ronald, you just blew me away by that. So how does a fish know it's in water? That's a great one. Does it use its mind?
Awareness.
Awareness. Okay.
No,
Okay. So, Ronald, thank you for that. We're going to do a little exercise now so that all of us get maximum benefit. We're going to use our hearts and the energy connected in this room. So all of you, please turn your mics off so that there's no feedback back. You can click on the mic buttons. Let me see. Okay, is everybody's mic off? Yeah. Okay, I turned some mics off. So that we can let me just get everybody here. Okay. All right. So guys, what we're going to do is we're going to charge up the center of the heart. So the heart is located just tiny bit to the left in the center of your chest. And what we're going to do is this whole area is the heart chakra. It even goes around the back to our lungs, right? So it's all the way around this area. What we want to do is to activate this center. So we imagine that this is energy around this area. And we're going to use our breath as a dynamo, as a turbine. So we use the breath in and out, and as we breathe in, we're charging this up. And as we breathe out, we're charging it up. And the more we breathe in and out, the more alive the heart becomes and the quieter the brain becomes in this exercise. And what we're going to do is just vitalize the heart and feel through the heart. Okay, so there's no words to be done here. We just want to learn how to feel again through our heart. Okay, so you can be comfortable. You can keep your eyes open or closed. It's always better to connect with your eyes closed. Take your left hand, place it in the center of your chest. Take your right hand, place it over your left hand. You can close my eyes. You can do the same. And now on the in-breath, we're going to use the breath to awaken the heart. So take a deep breath in. Hold that energy into the center of your heart and feel that energy coming alive inside of you. Take a deep breath out now. Let it all out. And get ready to pull in all that oxygen to supercharge the center of your chest where your heart's located. 1, 2, 3. Hold that energy into your chest. Feel the heart center coming alive. Feel it like radiant light coming in and out of you. Feel that whole energy becoming light, and feel the lights inside of your heart. Take a deep exhale. And on the next one, we're really going to feel the heart now supercharging up and awakening to life. 1, 2, 3, deep inhale. Feel your heart coming alive. Make it feel so real that you feel it sparkling and tingling, and feel it taking the lead. Almost feel the heart growing. Feel the heart coming alive. Feel a blue light shining inside of you, diamonds shimmering inside of you. And a deep breath out. Now in your awareness, recall the emotion of joy. You can have the emotion without the experience, and this automatically activates the muscles in your heart and the feeling in your heart. So think of a moment where you were joyful when you were a child, or whenever it was with a loved one. and feel that emotion, and make that emotion feel so real that your body thinks that you're feeling that emotion right now. Make it really real right now. Feel that emotion. And now feel compassion for anything or anyone, someone that has hurt you, someone that you have something in your heart for. This is poison to your heart. So be compassionate towards them, forgive them, and shower them with love. This releases the bond that you have in your heart over them. So let it go, forgive them, allow yourself to be free because you don't have to carry around other people's baggage. Release them, be compassionate towards them. Now feel deep love for life, and don't make this a thought process. Really feel it. Like you're walking and watching a sunset on the ocean, or listening to an amazing piece of music, or seeing something so beautiful. Make that feeling so real that your heart feels it and comes alive. Make it feel so real that your body doesn't know that it's not there, but your body feels it so alive right now. And let your heart come alive. Awaken your heart center. Now imagine this light that's so ignited in your heart, traveling up and down your entire body. Feel this light going down right to the tips of your toes and to the top of your head. Feel it channeling from the base of your spine all the way to the top of your head along your spine. Feel all the energy centers coming alive. Awaken your body's intuition. Become aware of your third eye, the place between your eyebrows. You can look back behind your eyes and awaken your pineal gland located inside your head. Go into your heart and feel inside of your heart. In other words, go inside your heart and feel what it feels as it beats, as it pulses. Connect with that energy. Connect into your belly button. Connect below your belly button. There's a life force there, your gut feeling. Connect with it and talk to it and feel the feedback. We have to become so sensitive to the body's feedback that our heart feels and then tells our brain, and then we say those words. Dig deep into your body's awareness. Clear your mind. Throw out all thoughts. Bring all your awareness into your belly, into your heart, and into your third eye. Become aware of your energetic body. Feel the aliveness inside your body. There is a whole universe inside of you. See if you can connect with that universe. Amazing communication happening inside of you. All the electrical impulses moving up and down. Feel the electricity inside of you. And with practice, you can channel this energy into healing yourself and others. But for now, listen in with your heart. Imagine your heart being open, the ears of your heart, if you want, being open. And listen to your gut. What's your gut telling you right now? Be very quiet in the mind and listen to your gut. What's it saying? Listen carefully and learn to listen without the brain. This is what we're here to do in the intuition. There's a language inside your body that does not use words, but you can recognize it. Tune into your heart now. Listen to what your heart is saying. What is it feeling? The language of the heart is feelings. Tune into its feelings and recognize what is fear, what is love, what is intuition, what is actually saying. Tune into your third eye and connect to the cosmos and to the infinite realms. This is where intuition downloads inspiration and knowledges from unknown places that Tesla and Einstein and all these other great inventors from the West accessed. This infinite intelligence through your third eye. Put all your energy into your pineal gland. Focus all your energy. It's not easy because it needs practice. These muscles, these intuition centers have become rusted. You have to practice this and imagine them coming alive now. And you do that with all your attention into the middle of your eyebrows. Bring in all your attention. Bring in all your attention into your heart. And bring in all your attention into your gut. And stay with these three centers now. Now I want you to think of something that you want an answer to. Whatever that may be, I want you to ask your heart that question. Anything. What should I have for dinner? What should I do next year? What should I do about this? How do I get to do this? How do I achieve that? Ask it. I'm going to show you how to discard the useless content. Ask your question. How do I, whatever the question is, now become very silent. You have to practice becoming very silent and to listen internally. Now wait for words to appear. And you'll notice that the word appears from thought. Remember to discard that. Wait for a word or a feeling to appear. This is the muscle you have to train. What feeling comes up? What word comes up? What image comes up? What person comes up? Concentrate. And whatever comes up, if it's from your past memory, throw it away. Start again. Listen again. Listen carefully. Not with your brain. Tune in. Tune in. And we'll practice this going forward. For now, what I want you to do is imagine on a screen in front of you, everyone that's on the call, I want you to imagine them as lines, almost like direct channels in front of you. So in your brain, open a line to everyone you remember. So there's that person, there's that image, there's that name. Open up different lines of connection that you can sense through your heart and connect to their hearts. You don't have to know their names or open your eyes. Connect to them intuitively. Create a channel from your heart to that person, to every person, to myself as well. And now broaden the channel that you have towards myself, towards me. And I want to show you how to do this for others as well. So imagine in your mind, you're opening up the channel from your heart to my heart. And you can do this with anyone without you even being close to them. And now feel like you're sending a message from your heart to my heart. And imagine like I received that message. Sounds crazy, but try it. Send a message from your heart to my heart, believing that you can do this, and transmit a message in the unseen to my heart. Form the connections, form the internet, and send a message. Now take that same awareness towards anyone that you love, that you want to connect with again. And take that same channel of lines in front of you, from people on the call and from myself, and channel your energy towards this person. And imagine your heart connecting with their heart. And send them a message from your heart, knowing that they receive this message. Believing that you have this ability to send the message and they will receive it, feel it being delivered. Now take this awareness and this memory of knowing your intuition and listening to your gut instinct and to your heart, and recall what this feels like so that you can come back to this place as you practice connecting to your intuition. And you can take a deep breath in, deep breath out, and then take this energy over your face and then return back to this moment. Crazy stuff, right? How did it feel? Did you guys connect to someone?
Yes.
And did you feel like it was delivered? You're gonna check this later on, and see if it worked, right? And if you connected to these people. It's a muscle that can be trained, and that's what I do with my clients and with people that I love. You know, when someone says, "I was just thinking about you," and you called, and so how did I do that, right? Or I was just feeling like something was going to happen to that person, and most of our senses are tuned into pain, so we're always fearing someone's going to die or someone's going to get sick, and that's the muscle we have to train to predict or to feel the good things coming. Like, how many of us say, "Oh, I think I'm gonna fall in love tomorrow"? No, we're thinking about, "Oh, I think I'm gonna die tomorrow," or this drastic thing's gonna happen. But if you can tune that muscle, you can actually predict the future, which is something that is really interesting as well in this particular world. Guys, do you have any questions about what we're speaking about here? Is it crazy or what?
No, it's not crazy at all.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about my grandmother and some of my aunts who used to say, "I was just thinking about you.
Right.
I knew you were going to call." These were the older people long before technology
Yeah.
that would make those comments because they were more spiritual.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
spiritual is a good word. Yeah. It's confused now with
They
religious, but it is religious and it's not either.
they were not interrupted with all the stuff we are, so they had the ability to just tune in, and it was natural for them.
Mm. So thank you, Ronald. How did that feel? Did it feel natural doing that? Because, like I said, it's the first time I've done that on air. Lizana told you it's the first time I've done it. How did it feel natural? Did it feel like weird and crazy?
Both.
Oh, well, Lizana, you're a veteran Zen coach.
Well,
You're not allowed to comment. It has to feel natural for you.
no, I would crazy in a good way. I'm
Okay.
crazy in a way that at one point, well, I actually had a question. Excuse me. If I sent my message to someone I am currently not in connection with, that the relationship is difficult, how do I check that out?
Well, you can't, but you can know that it has been delivered.
Yes.
Now, whether they want to receive it or not, it's like they need to open the email, right? But if someone is so shut off that they refuse to feel and don't want to know and block that energy, then they're not going to receive any beautiful messages from anyone. But there's a beautiful question, because when your heart is open to receiving, the messages will pop in all the time, everywhere. And they happen with me every day at every moment, right? Alicia, welcome. Nice to see you, Alicia. And so your heart has to be open to receive that particular message. Yeah, Ronald, do you have? Oh, sorry, Fardeen, you want to say something?
You were talking. What you were talking about is actually there's a lot of research done by Carl Jung, with what is called synchronicity.
Yes.
So that's something you can maybe look into.
I did. Yeah, we do a lot. We have the 21-day challenge, which is a class that many of you have done, which is precisely that, to awaken the synchronicity. And then you start seeing it everywhere, numbers and patterns and people and things just showing up. But yeah, if you're not in alignment with those frequencies, and you're, what are you talking about? There's nothing going on. And yes, wherever you put your awareness and your attention, there you will find the thing. So if your whole attention is on matter, or noise of the senses, then that's what you're going to see. And if you quieten down the senses and awaken the intuition, it's incredible things that arise out of that. Ronald, do you want to say something else?
I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. There
Oh,
are reconnections that I want to make, and my brain keeps getting in the way, but my heart knows the path. So thank you, and thank you, and thank you.
you're welcome, Ronald. You can also do that with people that have passed on or people very far away. And that's the beautiful part about this thing, because energy is never broken or forgotten in
It
that, or lost
transcends
in that
time and
particular way.
space.
Yeah, we do as well. We just don't know it, right? Or we just don't believe it. And that's the whole bodysuit that we're in, not realizing that we've got. That's what Rumi says so beautifully. When God created you, He created you with an escape route, with a ladder connecting you to the infinite cosmos, right? But we're like just constantly stuck in thought, right? And that's where we get trapped. Oya can appreciate being Turkish. Oya, you can appreciate Rumi. Rumi there. I quote Rumi a lot, as many of you know.
Can I have a question?
Yes, please.
You said that to receive a message, you have to have the heart open.
Yeah.
How can you open your heart to receive any message,
question.
or can you even block it? Like if it's unwanted message, you said some people can block it. They will not receive it. They will decide, right?
Right. So
How?
most of the world is not in the feeling world. No, most of the world is not sensing and perceiving and intuiting. Most of the world is looking for signs, and we live in a materialist time right now, where if the evidence is not presented by Newtonian physics that there's cause and reaction, so cause and action. So if I can't see it, then it doesn't exist. Now, if your mind is your brain, you're totally dependent on brain, you're not going to be perceiving this. In answer to your question, Olga, if you do the daily practice, which we can show you, and then on these particular calls, and most people are on the group. We have a WhatsApp group as well. You're welcome to do that as well. On opening your heart, feeling love, falling in love, all these emotions that awaken the heart, you do that. But remember, you have to develop courage and trust, because that means that you're going to have to be compassionate and forgiving to everyone in your life, including those people that you have an issue with. So to open up your heart means to fall in love with life, and even those things that you don't like, which is not always easy. So there's practices to do that, and I have this intuition masterclass that's coming up as well, which is going to be all about that, and I'm very excited about that. So whoever's interested, I'll send you the link. Anissa? Yes?
Yeah, I recently attended somebody's class as well, a master class, and they were saying that intuition comes from your gut, right? But the gut is actually linked to your subconscious, not your conscious. Not being in a state of consciousness, it's linked to your subconscious position. So I'm a little bit confused today, because the teaching is now alluding to that when you're in your intuition, you're closest to your heart space, and your heart space infers that it's actually you're more conscious. So can you clarify that for me? Because now I'm having two schools of thought that are in conflict.
Well, I think the conflict is always with your labeling, Anissa. You use these labels, and then you need clarity on the labels. So you're thinking, okay, in terms of a label, intuition equals this, equals that. And that's where you get lost, because nobody can actually see the intuition. Nobody's actually seen the mind. Nobody's actually seen instinct. Nobody's seen subconscious. Nobody's seen conscious or consciousness. So if you want to separate it and say, okay, consciousness is this, and then associate it with that particular thing, this is all very much based on field. So if there's contradictory things, then they always will be, because one label and another label on two things, they can never be isolated. Sense perception in the mind. So if I write the word intuition down, what is that exactly pointing to?
So I'm not attached to labels, Rashad. I'm actually reflecting, actually just in a reflective state of hearing two schools of thought. And I'm
They're not really two schools of thought. They just I'm not actually using one particular name for it. For me,
Yes.
intuition is what we did there. And if you want to like identify and compare, let's do that offline, okay? Because it's a whole discussion about
Yeah.
like mind and brain and intuition and instinct, gut. It's a whole yeah, it's a very broad topic that needs to be explored. I don't know exactly what you've learned and how my one compares to their one, but I'm sure they're all talking about the same thing that can't be sort of identified and measured or whatever, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Maria, you had something that we were going to talk about with intuition and music. Is it a good time for you?
Yes, yes. Hello, everyone. I was thinking about inner voice. Everybody says our inner voice is very quiet, very difficult to listen to. So I have a game to show you that the inner voice is very easy to listen to, but it's very difficult to separate an inner voice that comes from conditioning and an inner voice that comes from intuition. And I want to give a little bit of an insight in that from the music example. So I'm going to sing
just
5
before you continue, just to summarize. So inner voice from conditioning,
Yeah,
that
so
means your past experience.
we say our inner voice is very difficult to listen to, but I
Right.
think our inner voice is very strong. What is difficult is to separate an inner voice that comes from conditioning and an inner voice that comes from intuition. And I'm going to use an example of music to show you. It's a game. Okay. So I'm going to sing 5 notes, and when I stop, I want to think what comes next, what notes come next to you. Okay? So I think I'm going to read your mind, but so pam pararam pam.
Pam,
Did you hear your voice? Yes. Pam pararam
conditioning, right?
pam. That's conditioning. It's our ability to listen to music as language is called audiation. Is that we can think in music, but our ability to predict what comes next is something that we are conditioned from the beginning, because music is this succession of tension and release. So we always look for a completion of the melody, for the full stop, for the pause, for, so we get this excited state, and then we wait for that full stop. So I was thinking that when it's about intuition, that's also called musical expectations. And I think the title is very important, because when you talk about your intuition, you cannot think by expecting an outcome. So tuning into a voice that is intuitive means that you have no expectation. You tune in the moment. And most of the time, that voice, as far as music is concerned, might be an ugly one. So you have to be brave. And I'm going to show you how to do an exercise. You try at home to strengthen your intuition when it comes to music. So if you get used to yourself being out of tune, maybe you can start listening to this voice that is very quiet and it doesn't agree with the condition, with the must, with the outcomes. So it comes from a very pure place. So I would like you to go home and just put on a melody, a song that has a very strong melody, something that you know. You can stop it halfway through and then just be silent and see if you can hear something that is not the melody that you are used to, and see if you can sing that. So in the case of what I sang, that's called is a full stop in music. But if you do pam pararam pam, that sounds wrong, but it's not wrong. It's just not the end of the phrase, but it could be the beginning of something else. So that's what I have to say.
Can you show us an example? Can you show us an example of this? So we put a favorite melody on. Let's say, give me an example.
I'll play something here.
By the way, Maria is a PhD in music, so you're definitely in good hands to listen to what she's saying. So go ahead.
Okay, this one.
Oh, it's too far. It's too far. I can't hear it. Yeah.
I have a problem with my.
Yeah, it didn't work the last time as well, Maria. Never mind the keyboard. So hum something for us.
La 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 la.
La, la, la. Okay, yeah, I know that
Don't
tune.
know what comes next. Be silent.
Ah, so you play it and then you stop.
You stop it, you
Okay.
be silent, and avoid the urge to continue with the melody that you know. Try to listen what comes out of your heart at that moment, because it could be a different note, something louder, something quieter, something different. That's the whole exercise.
So you're unconditioning the patterns, the usual patterns, which is awakening the intuition.
Yeah, for me, that I'm a trained musician is very scary, because I always think I'm making a mistake. So for me, it's difficult. But for you, it might be a bit easier, because
Does that make sense to you guys? You guys know you want to try that. This is going to awaken your
great.
intuition more. Yeah.
I
It's
I
great.
just want to ask Maria, what was that piece she hummed a moment ago?
that was Swan Lake. Da, 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 da. It's the theme from,
Composed, huh?
it's the theme from Swan Lake.
Swan Lake.
That's right, Swan Lake. Thank you.
Okay. Ferdinand, did you want to say something?
I said what Maria said. It's so powerful and so wonderful. It's gonna change a lot of things for me after this session.
Okay, so we have music available to us. Try it out, guys. Remember, all of this is practice, is the continuous practice of awakening your intuition. And we have many different tools and techniques, including dance, including movement, including sound, including nature, all that type of stuff. Because we're only using our senses with our brains, right? We can't be doing that. We need to awaken our intuition. Lizanne, you had a bit of something to add on to that. Lizanne is a famous psychotherapist and a Zen coach. So tell us, Lizanne, what was the exercise you've got on intuition?
Well, it's an exercise to do as Maria suggested after, not in the moment. So I do have a question for the group, and I just want you to consider it in your heart or your mind, wherever it goes, as I share some things with you. So my question is, are you hardwired or heart-wired?
I like that.
Okay.
Hardwired or hardwired? Okay.
Okay. So, yep. So it's a tricky question, because the truth is we're both. Yes?
Okay.
We're both. Okay. Yeah, we're here today because we want to be more wired to our heart. I mean, we already are, as Rashad beautifully took us through the experiential of feeling that. Olga's even question about how do I kind of expand on that. Yes, what we did today is one, I wanted to share ways that I connect to my heart and increase the opportunity to not listen to this, because the hardwire, okay, we've got, and Fardin, you mentioned it, all the noise, there's all the technology, all the things that are clogging up our systems that do not allow us to wire to the heart. So we do have to pay attention to that and find ways to open up those filters. Additionally, Maria mentioned the conditioning. We're hardwired in our culture. Social media is a culture. We have subcultures. We have our family culture. I don't have to say more about the conditioning that hardwires all of us to make choices and decisions that are not the best for our heart. Even the food we eat, okay? So are we hardwired or hardwired? We're both. And how can we expand that connection to our heart? I do two things. It's nature and children. Children are pure. Nature lives on its own. Although we feel we need to contribute to it, it can take care of itself. So what I suggest is that you find places to go. For me, I will hug a tree. Pardon, I love your garden, and Alana, your greens are gone, and yet I feel the igniting within myself when I see a butterfly, when I hear the laugh of a child. That is me, and I invite you to find what that is for you. If it's through nature and children, wonderful. If it's music, if it's poetry, I also dance every night, people. I make sure I dance. I need to get out of my skin. and feel the inside of myself, which is often something we protect when we walk out the door, whether we put a coat on, sunglasses, our armor so no one hurts us. Open up. We are in such a state of possibility when we're in our heart, and when we're in our head, it's a lot of problems. What would you like? Possibilities or to solve problems? I don't want to hear your answers necessarily. I want you to listen to your heart. I hope that in my few moments with you today that you are able to separate from your head. I am a person who loves words, so I do love to say, are you hardwired or heartwired? And take that as a discernment wand when you're making a decision. Think of my words. Even though Rashad said, yes, words, they limit us. Well, they do help us. Yes, Anissa, they do give us ways to come to some understanding within ourselves. Yet I'm encouraging you to take this and find what lights you up.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Rashad. I'm very blessed to be here. You're all beautiful souls. And I just am blessed and very grateful.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that wisdom with us. So guys, the way to awaken your heart's intuition is through practice, is through silencing the rational mind, which is very useful at a later stage. But for now, to awaken the body, quieten the mind, and to also recognize what's coming from old patterns, from past conditioning, from usual dialogue, and putting that aside, right? The reason why we're all doing it is because we want to feel more connected, like Ronald said, feel more in love, feel more in tune. So what we want to do is to live like children, right? I mean, even Jesus said, if you want to enter the kingdom of heaven, you shall only enter as a child, right? Correct me if I'm misquoting that, but what we're trying to do is to uncondition, to unlearn, to discard, and then to awaken, right? And of course, information is very useful, no doubt, very, very useful. And that's what we're doing here today is information. So if we can learn to quieten down, you see, people want to say, I want to be still, be quiet, I don't want any thoughts. That doesn't work. Try it. You get more thoughts, you get more noise. So the way to quieten down is by stepping above it, not trying to get away from it. So all the feelings, you're feeling anxious, you're feeling overwhelmed, you're overthinking, your job is not to go away from it. Don't put the music on loud or go into nature, not at this stage, but stay with it and become aware. This is what Ferdinand is talking about, awareness. Become so aware. Let's just try a 2-minute exercise on this so you can see what this is instead of a concept. Let's close our eyes. Become aware of the feelings in our body. How does your body feel? Is it light? Is it heavy? Is it free? Just feel into your body. Become aware of the sound, of the stillness, the silence between the sounds. So there's my voice, then the silence. Then my voice, then the silence. Your task is to notice the silence. Become aware of your feelings and notice between each feeling, there's a gap of awareness. Open that gap. Now we look at our thoughts. Become aware of your thoughts. Let them come. All the thoughts, all the feelings. And you just watch them. And between each thought, there is a gap. Think about that for a second. I'm thinking about this. There's a gap. I'm thinking about that. There's a gap. Your job is to find the gap. Notice the gap. The silence and the stillness, become aware of it now. Deepen into these gaps. Almost like you're widening the gap with your hands. And in the silence and the stillness is the connection to the divine presence. There is no sense perception here, just awareness. But you have to learn to be quiet and become aware of the stillness. And from this place, your intuition can awaken. Feel how wonderful that feels, and how natural this feels, and how foreign it feels to be consumed in thought and feelings. Feel the naturalness of the stillness, of the gaps, of the silence. Let the silence grow inside of you. And take this silence and this awareness of your intuition in your gut, in your heart, in your third eye, to the rest of your week, and live from here instead of the noise out there. When you're ready, you can open your eyes and return to this moment. And let me know if you come on the next call, whether the message was received out there. If you guys are interested in the masterclass that we'll be launching, if you're on the group, I will share the link to the PDF. If not, here is the PDF, and you can, if you click the link, you can download it and watch it later. And if you're interested, you can contact me and let me know. We're starting in October. These calls will be happening, still continuing on for free, where we'll be talking about stuff that's in the masterclass. We're just going to dig very deeper into it. So for those that can't afford it, it's all going to be available for free here as well. For those that want to dive deeper, you will get a dedicated group as well to support it with. But please keep joining the group sessions and invite people. The more people we can connect with our hearts and our intuition, the better this world will be. We're all very balanced. The fact that we're all on this call means that we're really caring about our emotions. You can see how many men there are on this call versus women, right? I mean, they don't even know that they need this. And that's the thing about women. They generally do feel, hey, I need this. And for men, you know, we can see some very forward thinking or deeper feeling type of men. It's crazy out there. And the children and the teenagers, they so much need this. So if you guys can be this light of awareness, and ultimately it's love, right? I mean, deep down, it's the recognition that you are love. And it can't come if you're identified with your conditioned mind, right? So if we can bring this awareness more and more to more people, I would be glad that I did something useful on earth, and you would also feel that you've done something useful. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask them. If you want to join the group with our lovely Zen family, with a few people from here, let me know and I will share the link on, I think some of you know me on LinkedIn. I'll share that, you know, we post messages. Sometimes there's interaction, sometimes there isn't, which is always fine as well. So yeah, any questions, guys? I hope you benefited from the session and made you feel a little more yourself. I like the way Alana said, the highlight was Alana said, it's like coming home, right? Where she is in nature, you're home. And what Ronald said so beautifully, I forget now, Ronald, what did you say? You want to, yeah?
I said that I want to connect, but I also want to be the fish that knows it's in water.
Yeah, that was so beautiful about the fish that knows that it's in water. In other words, all this chaos that you see around you, what is your true nature? What is your true self? Because that becomes a light, then increases, and it guides you through this world, through this noise, through this chaos, and reminds us of what we are. But what we are can't be described by words, right? It's a feeling. We know we're from somewhere else. We know we're going to somewhere else. And when you start connecting with intuition and you can actually feel and intuit, it's wonderful. I think it's beautiful. All right, then. Thank you all for coming. And see you all in the next call. I'll post it. It'll be the week after next. Every second Saturday, we're going to have this call. All right?
Thanks a lot, Prashad. Thank you
Thank
all
you,
very much.
Thank
Rashad.
you all for coming.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Rashad.
everyone.
Thanks, Rashad.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Maria,
Thank
Lisa,
you.
and thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Donald.
Thanks for coming and sharing.
Yes, thank you, Lisanne. Thank you.
Yes.
And Maria, thank you.